Hi friends, it's Becky, and I apologize for my voice. I have been sick. I am getting better. I am on the way to recovery, so this won't be a really long video, but I can at least talk now. I had lost my voice for a couple of days, almost completely, but I am getting better. I'm on the mend, and I just want to thank everyone so much for their kind words of encouragement when I let you all know that I was sick, and that I really appreciate being in your thoughts. It really meant a lot to me. But one of the things that I wanted to do before I got sick was open up my Silversilk packages with y'all and show you what I got from the pop-up shop. One of the things that Nealay does is he'll put up some custom chains, some things that he's put together that will go together into his pop-up shops. And that's a really great way to find things that are already curated to go together, to give you some spark of inspiration. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you'll already know that I'm a huge fan of Silversilk. If you're new, then maybe you haven't heard of Silversilk before, because it isn't the type of jewelry finding that you're going to find hanging on the shelves at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. It is kind of a custom boutique kind of thing. And let me just tell you a little bit about what it is. Nealay Patel has a shop, Silversilk and More. I'll put a link to the shop in the description below if you want to check it out. And he makes this knitted chain, and it is like this. You've got capture chain, which is ball chain that has this colored wire knitted around it. So it's like the ball chain is wearing a fancy sweater. So you've got that. And then there's a different type called hollow mesh, which is just the knitted wire with a big empty spot in the middle of it. I got some of this. This was in the pop-up shop as well. Then you've got your pipe chain, which I believe this one is. And what that is some rubber tubing like that, with, again, the knitted chain all the way around it. And when you have that, you can put beading wire, or you can put craft wire or something through it, and you can use it as a bead or something else like that. Then you've got your 3 needle chain, which is knitted wire that's been pulled through like a diz or something in order to make it kind of flatter and smaller and more compact. So I've got some of those. Yeah, this is quite a bit of a Silversilk haul, and I recently reorganized my Silversilk findings and stuff so that I would be better prepared for the Silversilk Diet Challenge. This is just some free bits and ends of wire that Nealay couldn't sell because it was too short or something. Sometimes he'll do that where he gets to know his individual customers and their preferences, and sometimes he'll just send you a little extra if you've made a large order, if you've made several orders in a row. Like that one that I packaged, that was 2 orders that he put together and shipped together. One was this one, and then the other one was stuff from the pop-up shop. But what's really funny is that this was a second order that I did after that, and you can see like some of the same leather chain in here that he sent here is some that I purchased, so he knows that that's something that I would probably definitely use for that. So that was the final chain, the final boss is this leather chain, and the leather chain is just a strand of leather with, again, a fancy little sweater where you've got your, oh, that's fun. That's interesting where that changed. Huh. I love this because it gives me a little bit of insight into how this is constructed with that. Yeah, so it's just little bits and offcuts. Sometimes he'll send it to you. It's enough that I could make a necklace with this. That's long enough for a necklace, or maybe a anklet, or a couple of bracelets, or maybe a wrap bracelet. Will that fit twice around my wrist? Let's find out. That fit twice around my wrist. I could do a wrap bracelet with that. But yeah, so I mean, it's not the full length that you'd purchase, but it is a length. And so sometimes Nealay will do that because he can do that sort of thing as a small business owner who doesn't have a lot of employees and is just doing it all on his own as he gets to know his customers a little bit better. But that's another reason why you're not going to see it hanging on the shelves and other places, and why it's more of a boutique experience, is because it is a one-man show. And these are something new. This is something that I absolutely desperately wanted that he just came up with, and it is mini pipe chain. So I'm just going to pull this guy out because he's about the same color as the other one. And this is regular pipe chain. And you can see that difference in size. You can still probably fit a piece of jewelry beading wire through there, and probably some, it looks like it's the wall for the most part that's smaller on this. The hole doesn't seem to be that much smaller. It's a little bit more supple feeling, not as thick, but it is smaller, so you could probably fit other things on here a little bit easier and a little bit better. But this was a little pack that you could get from his shop with some of these mini pipe chains. I am really excited to play around with these and use them. That is going to be so cool. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit, so I'm going to put these guys back in their little thing for now, and I'll get them put away in just a little bit. But let's go through some of the other things that I got from the shop. I love the idea of this, and I am really stoked to experiment with it and see what I can come up with with these mini ones. This was a jewelry making kit. Nealay did a video of it. I'll put a link to his tutorial in the description, but it's very similar to this one, except instead of learning how to do these chainmail ends and then having this magnetic clasp, we've got, again, another magnetic clasp, but we've got these slider things so that you can just slide the balls on the ball chains together and have yourself a little rainbow bracelet like that. I'll also put the link to the tutorial for this one too, because it was really cool how he did these chainmail ends on that. I'll put the link to both of these tutorials if you want that. But this was just a kit that he had. And honestly, the kits are a really good deal because you get the findings and all of the chain to use it. Like if you were to buy each individual color of chain on its own, it would be way more expensive than getting just enough chain to make that project. And that's why it's a good idea if he puts those kits up to go ahead and grab them. Like this came from a kit when he did that tutorial, and I was like, no, I have to have that because it came with like all of these findings as well as the chain. Alright, so let me get, do I have any more? No, wait. Yep, I've got some more pipe chain, so I want to separate them out into types. So I've got pipe chain, I've got some leather chain, I've got some hollow mesh, and this hollow mesh was meant to go with, where is it? As an accompaniment. Actually, I think the hollow mesh and that pipe chain was meant to go with the Jessie James Beads Magical Mystery Bead Box. Like that. To be able to make some things with that. So I'm going to be using this for that. There's this thing that Nealay's doing on his Facebook channel this week. It's the Silversilk Diet Challenge. And every day, actually starting with today, there's a different challenge. And midweek, there's going to be a challenge to make something that is mermaid themed. And 100% I'm using this for that challenge. And it's definitely going to go with this and some of these other beads that are here in this JJB Magical Mystery Bead Box. That's just a spoiler for that. So hopefully I am feeling well enough to talk about it on camera by then. I'm starting to run out of steam a little bit here, but we'll keep going. Let's just keep going just a little bit. So I've got that. And then this was from the pop-up shop. There are some gorgeous, gorgeous beads that were meant to go with some of these chains that he put together. Like we've got this pearlesque chain. It's very similar, I think, to the waterfall pearlesque chain. And pearlesque chain is like capture chain, in that here. Let me just pull out this guy right here. This is how I organize my Silversilk chains, by the way. Is I've got these photo boxes, and I put them in here. And I actually, the reason I reorganized it was because I was running out of room. I changed it so that I've got colored chains in here and metallic chains in this one. But I just want to show you kind of a difference between the regular capture chain and the pearlesque chain. The regular capture chain just has the knitted wire over the ball chain, whereas the pearlesque chain has this tinsel, this pearlescent tinsel in between, and that's what gives it that extra glow on that. So I'm just going to stick this in here, get it all organized away and put away so that I can use that later for other projects. And then, oh yeah, we had these moonstones. I got some of these. There were these gradient aquamarine beads. They are absolutely gorgeous. Some Fasta Jane coin beads. Ooh, sea tide blue. That's such a beautiful blue. Then we have these pink opal drops. Aren't these gorgeous? These actually, I don't know if they were sold together or one by one. I knew I wanted more than one of them. So it looks like they are side drilled through the top there. Aren't they beautiful? And when you order more than one of these things that comes in one, he'll do his best to make sure that they match. And then we've got these Nautilus coin bead. It's like a set of them. They're different sizes, like that. These are really cool. Hold on, I'm gonna just set those aside because I can't figure out how to open that in a timely manner. And then some large hole pearls, and one of the cool things about these is that you can probably put the 3 needle chain through the holes on these, so you can string these along to get them on there. And then there were these mini pendant sets, just a set of these pendants. Was that all of my things? I could have sworn it's okay though. I think that was all of it. And these are side drilled as well, I think. No, they're drilled across one of the ends. So we've got those. And then more of the leather chain. That's this pink one that's the same as this guy right here. See? So I now have some extra. I can put that with my other leather chain. And then this leather chain that has kind of a tan leather with bright copper wire across the top of it. So that is pretty cool looking. They'll go together really well. And then this is more pipe chain, and it's just a white pipe with an antique copper around it. And for my pipe chain, I had also separated them out into warm and cool colors. So this is warm. I'm going to stick it in here with these guys carefully. I just want to get these guys put away. Or no, I'm gonna use leather chain for my thing that I make today. go. Let's get this pipe chain put away. It's gonna go in here with the cool kids. Oh, I think I might already have this chain, and now I've got extra of it. It's this light blue tube with a kind of an aquamarine or light blue wire knitted around it. And I've got some in here. Let's close you up. Again, this is why I split them up, is because I had so much that I couldn't even close it when they were all together in the same one. So probably at some point need to split again. But that's why I'm doing the diet challenges, so that it's a way to use up your Silversilk, to have an excuse to use it, because it's such a... Oh, and this was my last piece that I got in from the pop-up shop. Look at this pendant. It is so lightweight, but so pretty. It's like a feather. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's a dyed shell. But yeah, let's put the leather chain away. And again, I've got the leather chain in two different things too. I've got warm and cool colors, and I think most of these are going to be warm colors. So let's get all of you guys in here, except I think for... Is this one? Is this one the one that I want? Nope. I am going to use this guy, actually. This one right here. I'm going to use him. Yeah, because I'm going to make something with y'all after we're done with this. After I put this all together. Because the challenge for today was to make a pendant with some of your leftover orphan beads and hang it from a Silversilk pipe chain. And so I have my one of my tubs of orphan beads sitting next to me, and I'm going to pull that out in a minute after I get these guys put away. But I wanted to make sure I pulled out a piece of Silversilk that I'm going to be hanging it from. And this one just happened to, it came with this actually attached. And I've got a second one right here that I can attach it to. These are just the findings that you get with Silversilk. They attach onto the ends of them. I've got actually several in a separate thing. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to keep this out. These guys, I'm going to just stick them in here for now. I can get them sorted into an organizer later. They're just really cool. Boop, boop, boop. All right. And this is... This is my leather chain, or my 3-needle chain. I got several of these. They went on sale. That's why it was part of that. I was like, you know what? I really like this color, and I didn't have it already. And then I got some other colors of 3-needle chain that I could use with other things. And I actually don't currently have a little... I should probably get a photo box out and start putting my 3-needle chains in that. Alright, I don't have one handy next to me, so I will do that in a little bit, but this is other colors that you can use with that. But I've done like kumihimo with the 3-needle chain. It looks amazing. You can also braid it. It makes a great strand for a necklace. And then I got some findings. These are more of those findings that I was just telling you about. That Nealay makes them, or has them manufactured with like several different layers of plating, so they'll, you know, stand up the test of time. And it's always worth it to me to get more when I have one of those orders where I'm just like, you know what, I'd like to justify the cost of shipping by having a few more things in here for that. These are some more of the findings. If you look right here, that's it actually looks like knitting on those. That's pretty cool, huh? Anyway, these are small enough that you can glue in the ends of the 3-needle chain, and those work for them like that. That's why those findings were there. And then these are caps for the pipe chain. So I'm gonna stick those in my pipe chain cap section over there. And let's pull out. Now that I've got my guys opened up and looked at, this is what I wanted to do today. Let's look at that. Let's pull out some orphan beads, and I think 100% this is the one that I'm looking at right here. This amazing shell bead here. Now this came in, I think it was one of the Jesse James Beads Magical Mystery Bead boxes. It came in that, and it was just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous bead. It's lightweight. It feels like it's resin rather than glass, but it has these shells in it, and it is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. So I'm going to use that with this leather chain. And I'm going to grab a couple of these ceramic beads because they have a large enough hole that they will fit on this leather chain. And let me just grab a couple of extra beads that'll pull some of that blue in here to kind of go with it. That blue, is that the one I want? I'm just digging through some of these. These are my extra beads that I sorted them through and sort of put them based on color together. I'm just going to hold this over here and see which colors are going to be the best to pull into there. That's too blue. It's not oceany enough for me. Yeah, I like that one. So let's get both of those in there. Alright. So these are all orphan beads. Again, this came in a Magical Mystery Bead box from last year, not this year. And I had always meant to do something with it, but I never did. So I'm going to do something with it now. Let's make ourselves a bail for that. Using some antique copper wire. I've got some 18 gauge here. Will this fit on 18 gauge wire? It absolutely will. Alright, so I'm going to start kind of straightening out this wire with my fingers. It also warms it up to make it easy to use. And I think I'm going to use, let's see, let's just cut off about 12 inches of this. I'm probably not going to use that much, but also let me find my tools. Round nose pliers, some chain nose pliers, and I like this one for when I close up my findings because it holds it really well and it doesn't have it doesn't leave very many marks at all when I use it to close it up. So it's one of my favorite tools for that. It's just a flat nose plier. It's also really useful when you're doing wire working because you can smush down your wire a little bit to work harden it instead of hammering it. And I'm just trying to find my snippers. Goodness. There they are. They were underneath all of my Silversilk boxes. Gotcha. Alright, so I've got some wire cutters. They are flush cutters. And let's go. Alright, I'm going to start with a bail up here at the top that's going to be large enough to go around here. So let's go about the middle, a little bit past the middle on my round nose pliers. And there you go. I did a little bend first and then bent this around so that it would be more centered. I'm going to hold on to that loop. Well, I just use my finger to push this around. It doesn't need to go around very much. Twice is fine. Once would be fine. It's 18 gauge wire, so it probably didn't even need to be wrapped. We're just going to do it like that anyway. Alright, and now I'm going to put one of these guys on my wire. I'm going to put this guy on there too. And then this one. And then I'm going to just do a little bend, but I'm going to do my bend with a little bit more space between each of these beads because I want to give them some space when I'm wrapping this wire back up. Because I'm going to go up like this. So I'm holding my pliers there, and that gives me a little bit of room. See? A little bit of room for wrapping. Alright, now I'm going to pinch this bead and the wire, and then go all the way around. Put this bead up here next. I'm holding it right there in my hand. And then we're going to wrap it around again. Same direction. And then this guy here. And then we go up here and do a real messy wrap up here at the top. I'm just turning this so that they all get facing the same direction, and I've got my nice little wrap. I'm going to cut this wire there. There's a little bit of a pokey-outy bit, so I'm just going to tuck it in with chain nose pliers, not round nose pliers. It doesn't work as well, just pro tip, with the round nose pliers as it does with the chain nose pliers, in case you're wondering. Alright, so now I've got my little pendant. It's kind of beachy feel, beachy, oceany. And this end is already in here, so I don't need to secure it, but I do want to verify that I have it at the length that I want. For a necklace, I like a short necklace. So I'm going to cut my wire, my leather chain here, and you can see that using flush cutters works just fine to cut this. It's super easy. And now that that's the length that I want, before I finish this up and put my other end on, I'm going to go ahead and string my beads on like this. It's a pretty simple necklace, pretty easy. And I suppose I could have put some extra spacers or extra things on there around there, but I think this is going to be just fine, especially when you're wearing it. Alright, so to get the other end in, I'm just going to widen this out a little bit more by putting in my pliers and then using my fingers to wedge it open. It just makes it a little bit easier to get the other end of this leather cord in there. And you just want to wedge it back in as much as you can. Make sure it's good and in there. And as I said earlier, I really like using these flat nose pliers for this, because you can just put it right in there and it doesn't slip around like with, if you try to do it with, what are they called? The nylon jaw pliers. It slips around. It's a little slippery little guy. But you just want to squeeze down on that. There is a lip on the inside, just inside of this jaw, that bites down into the leather and it'll hold on real tight, so you don't even need to glue it. It's way better than gluing ends for that sort of thing. Alright, so now I need a jump ring and a lobster clasp. I just happen to have some of these. Well, let's say 2 jump rings and a lobster clasp. Let's do 1, 2, and I just have bright copper jump rings. And I think this is going to be about as much as my voice can handle. So once I am done with this, I'm going to bid you adieu for now, and I'm going to go back to resting and getting better so that I can get back to making things with y'all, because I missed ya the last few days. I missed being able to do this, and there are so many ideas that I have and so many things that I want to share with you. But I'm doing what I need to so that I can, what am I doing? Yes, this one. So that I can, you know, keep going long term, and so I don't have to rest even longer. It's important to rest. I hope y'all are drinking water, taking rest, and if you're feeling down like I am, I hope you're having some time to recover as well. Or, I shouldn't say down, I should say, unwell. Because, oh boy, it has been a while since I have, but you know what? Every one of us goes through periods like this where, you know, sometimes you're in great health and sometimes you're not, and that's okay. I'm just doing what I need to do to get back to healthy. There we go. And that's it. This is my day 1 Silversilk Diet Challenge. Making something with orphan beads and hanging it, making a pendant with orphan beads and hanging it on some silver silk chain. And you guys got to see what I got from the pop-up shop. I'll tell you what though, I am still just really, really stoked about these the mini pipe chains. I think that is such a brilliant idea, and I can't wait to play around with these. So I will see you all another time. I hope you are well. Take care, and happy beading. Oh, and I will definitely put a link in the description, so check there if you need to, you know, click more or something beneath this this video. That way you can find all of these things. Bye for now.